Over the years, Sony has done a lot to upset consumers, but also developers. They force censorship on tons of third-party games, don't care about what gamers want in our entertainment, and are too busy chasing global audiences instead of pleasing the consumers they already have. I've talked about Sony abandoning the Japanese gaming market before, after they moved their headquarters to California, and now in a desperate attempt to up their sales, they're reaffirming their commitment to Japanese games. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So this is a new Sankaku Complex article. Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO reaffirms commitment to Japanese games after slapping developers and consumers in the face. They've decided to come crawling back, trying to win their favor again. It says Famitsu recently conducted an interview with Sony, and the head honcho Jim Ryan, who reaffirmed the importance and value of Japanese games and Sony's commitment to them. They are getting desperate. They are losing a foothold in Japan. Their sales there are declining. Consumers are starting to not like them. Developers are starting to not like them, and they are trying to find a way to up those sales again, and this is their newest attempt. It says that he was asked, how much weight does the Japanese market carry for PlayStation 5's global strategy? Jim Ryan said the Japanese market will become an incredibly important market from here on out. One of the reasons is that the Japanese market boasts the second largest scale in the world, but other than the numbers, Japan is the birthplace of the PlayStation. We also have a lot of employees in Japan, and another reason we view the Japanese market so importantly is SIE is built on their efforts. You would think that this is how they would have talked 5 years ago when they started slowly creeping out of this market, because yes, Japan is the birthplace of the PlayStation. It is the second largest gaming market in the world. So you would think that they would have cared all those years ago, but they didn't. They were also asked, amidst your strategy for the PlayStation 5, what have you focused on in particular aimed towards Japan? He said, we've been releasing games that gel really well with the Japanese market. Games like Elden Ring, Resident Evil 4, Monster Hunter Rise, and Wild Hearts have released on PlayStation 5 already, and these titles are ones that were created and released in Japan thanks to our relationship with Japanese developers and publishers. PS culture is something integral to Japan, and it is one of the core countries, so the PlayStation brand speaks for itself, and as such, it's very important. He also went on to say Final Fantasy XVI and Street Fighter VI's releases are coming up in the near future, and while both are major launches globally, they are especially familiar for Japanese game fans, so I think the launches will be quite special. And I do think that, yes, games like Elden Ring, Resident Evil 4 are very good, and obviously, yes, do gel really well with the Japanese market, but you have to consider that they don't care. That's the issue here, right? He's trying to pretend like they care, but we have heard the complete opposite, and we have seen the complete opposite over the past few years. I mean, this is a report from 2021, Sony and PlayStation losing footing in Japan as Nintendo sweeps sales charts. They have been pushed out of the spotlight by a company like Nintendo. It appears Sony's continued shunning of their Japanese market has begun to herald significant damage to their bottom line, as recent sales data has revealed that not only did a mere single PlayStation title manage to rank among the country's most sold games, but that Nintendo has proceeded to sweep the charts in their rival's absence. That is what happens when you abandon a whole market. They are gonna find content elsewhere, and they have, and now instead of having that footing already, Sony basically has to not not completely start from scratch, right? But they've been pushed down the totem pole by a few notches, and they have to fight these other companies that they're fighting in every other market now. It says that according to sales data provided by Japanese video game news outlet Famitsu, and of course this was a couple of years ago, it does show that Sony managed to chart only a single title in the span of a few weeks. Now, it's no surprise to see them panicking, but they've dug the hole they're in. They're the ones who abandoned this market and started focusing on making content for global audiences, aka content that ends up being watered down in order to try to appeal to a larger group of people, when in reality that content appeals to no one. I don't know what they expected to happen, but we've also seen reports that yes, censorship is among the key reasons PlayStation's brand faced decisive decline. In Japan, they have done everything wrong over the past few years, and there are still a lot of fantastic PlayStation games that I absolutely love, franchises that I adore. I have a PlayStation 5 sitting right next to me, and I do think that it is a very good console, right? But they have done some serious damage to games and their brands over the past few years, and I saw this coming a mile away, that eventually they would try to, reaffirm their stance and try to get this group of people to love them again, try to win back this entire market. But if they didn't push them away in the first place, they wouldn't have to jump through all these hoops. This was from 2021. It says a new report claims that Sony's ongoing effort to appeal to Western markets has left the PlayStation brand facing a decisive decline among Japanese audiences. And good, they deserve this, right? They deserve to face a decisive decline after all of the shit they have put developers and consumers through. It says, according to Ace Research Institute, writing for GamesIndustry.biz Japan, Sony has done little to quell the profound feelings of despair that their shift in demographic focus has sparked among Japanese PlayStation users, despite their public assertions that they value the Japanese market. I do think that it's highly probable that Sony does take Japan seriously. That said, while their feelings are valuable, their actions do not match those feelings. That's why users believe Sony and CEO Jim Ryan have shown disregard for the Japanese market. I obviously want these companies to listen to their consumers and to respect their developers. I just don't see that happening with Sony anytime soon. They have tried over and over to push people away, and now they have to start begging in order to up their sales again. When it comes to Sony, I've had to talk about them a lot on the channel, unfortunately not for positive reasons. Maybe one day they will change, maybe one day they actually will show this commitment to Japanese games and the market in general, instead of just saying they're going to. Only time will tell. But yes, Jim Ryan has now reaffirmed their commitment to Japanese games, and I'm really not buying it. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.